If you want to understand Brexit and what happened last night, Britain's relationship with the EU, the whole thing, stop. Don't think about that stuff. It's not really about that. This is a global phenomenon. This is a revolt against technocracy and elites telling everybody else what to do. At the end of the day, for the past 20 years, 80% of the people have been told 80% of the time by the top 20% what to do, what to think, and what's good for them. Guess what? They've figured it out. The 20% needs to listen, because if they don't, they're going to find something out. The Hamptons is not a defensible position.
Hey, what's up, people? How you doing? It's me, Crimson 60620, and I don't know if I'm just gonna cut this or just make it into one big long thing. I wanted to start streaming more, and I've been keeping that promise. I want to take the time to say thank you to my Patreon subscribers and all the new subscribers that I've had. I'm at motherfucking 926. Let's get that number to 1,000. We need 1,000 subscribers. Push that watch time up. Let's get this channel monetized. I've been doing it for like 70 years now, and I just really want to actually make sure that we can actually get it monetized. Anyway, as you guys know, I do it for the fans. I do it for my followers. I do it for, it's weird. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say one thing. It's motherfucking weird that I have followers. Like, I do think the words that I have merit. I think that I can affect people with the things that I say. I think that, like, my ideas can actually change the world, but it's just weird saying I have followers. I don't know. Maybe I can be like other people and get love and affection from people online, and you guys complete me. Like, no, I thank you guys for watching my channel, and I thank you guys for being here to actually enjoy me and enjoy what I have to say. But yeah, it's a little bit weird to me. This talking it's a YouTube thing. It's an accomplishment to actually learn how to do it. It's an accomplishment to learn how to be somewhat coherent. But to me, yeah, I just do it because it's fun. Anyway, and I bring all of this up. I bring up the people that subscribe to me. I bring up the people that quite literally help me support myself. If you haven't seen my Patreon, if you haven't subscribed to my Patreon, that's okay. But when you do, it helps me out a lot. It just helps the shit out of me. And I tend to listen to people that watch my shit. And not in a change my opinion type shit, just to change my opinion, but I tend to listen to suggestions of videos, and this one has been on my radar for a while. And well, let's get into this video. I have watched Kidology's videos. I think she's a slightly right-wing femcel, and if you know anything about femcels are different. I know a few femcels in real life, and I know some who are. It's just a strange range of people that I know. I know from people from the lifestyle to polyamorous to incels, basically, and femcels, and it's actually really, really interesting. But Kidology seems like, yeah, I watched some of her videos, and I haven't made any. I don't like making videos where I feel like I'm going to be overly harsh, unless I'm playing on the same footing. But yeah, some of the videos of the shit she says and the shit she does, it just seems like, why, dog? Stop. Just stop. Anyway, we're gonna actually go into this video that Icon has put up here for us. And while we're doing this, so I can make sure that I'm paying attention to something else besides this brain rot. Yeah, let's listen to this video. And this video is why Breadtube video essays became so stale and the growing hypocrisies of Breadtube thought leaders. Even though I agree on her title, I still want to probably find some points of contention. And I don't even know if we're going to finish this whole thing. But let's go. And before I go and do this, I'm going to say this. What's the point in having a lapel mic if you're going to fucking hold it? All right, let's go. Let's go.
Ah. I'm sick, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Last month,
Okay. Stop. Just. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting into it, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be. All right. Let's go.
notorious anti-racism scholar and professor Abraham X. Kendi announced that he was laying off most of his staff at the Center for Anti-Racist Research, CAR. CAR was founded by Kendi in June 2020. Kendi's center was gifted 55 million US dollars, including 10 million from Twitter's co-founder Jack Dorsey, with the mission to, quote, build an anti-racist society that ensures racial equity and social justice. Now, why I reference Kendi's Anti-Racist Research Center is for two reasons. When I think of, quote, novel ways to understand, explain, and solve seemingly intractable problems of racial inequity and injustice.
Okay, I'm going to have to speed her up. I'm sorry. This melodic, measured tone. Yeah, it's kind of fucking, it's fucking with me. All right, let's go.
I cannot help but think of another phenomenon which blew up around about the same time as Kendi's center's founding. A particular caliber.
Okay, so here's the thing. You can actually be against people's methods of how they face racism. You can be against somebody's methods of and what they believe of racism. But the fact that to categorically say there is still no racism in the world, what the fuck are you on about, dude? Like, for real? You're gonna really say that there's no racism in the world? What are you smoking? All right. I'm tripping. Let's go.
Of content creator emerged on YouTube with a very specific intent, message, and style. Their videos were not only exciting, theatrical, and unusually long, they also offered hope in a seemingly hopeless, pandemic-ridden zeitgeist. Like Carr, they claimed and were seen as a novel way for people to understand, explain, and solve seemingly intractable problems of racial, sexual, and general inequity and injustice. The second reason why I'm
Wait, did you say? What was it saying? Wait.
Problems of racial, sexual, and general inequity.
I miss these days so much. Okay.
Equity and injustice. The second reason why I mentioned Kendi and CAR is because of a crucial point. Since its founding in 2020, CAR hasn't produced any original scholarship or research, at all, despite over $50 million in funding, something that is unheard of in the social sciences and humanities.
Maybe it shouldn't be unheard of. I'm sorry, okay, social sciences are still sciences. We have the science of running our society. And I know people think, oh, it's social sciences fields and all this other good bullshit. But no, there are some things that are associated with social sciences that still need to be fucking measured. It's not just, I just feel this way. No, motherfucker, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I just got a trumpet right there. But let's go.
The center has recently faced allegations and an investigation into financial mismanagement. And this financial mismanagement includes Kendi himself approving a mortgage loan of $600,000 to an unknown and unnamed professor. This loan was approved only 3 months after Carr's founding. It turns out that the unknown and unnamed professor is in fact Kendi's brother-in-law and was used by him to pay for his $5 million penthouse. Also, Kendi's brother is YouTube's global content policy lead, so that's a thing.
So what are you trying to say? There's some conspiracy going on? I'm sorry. What is this implication? If you're gonna say it with your whole motherfucking chest. I'm still confused. Like, and they are two people that are high up in society or in this woke society, is that's what she's trying to imply, that may have a bent towards anti-racism, however poorly executed it was. Is it anti-racism a problem for you? Is it a problem for you?
While Kendi appears to be emerging relatively unscathed from all of this, recently he signed a contract with ESPN, yes, ESPN, the sports network, and is a presenter on a series about tackling racism in sports. He was also gifted $625,000 from the MacArthur Foundation in 2021, and he also charges $20,000 for any speaking appearance. Now,
what's the accusation though? I'm sorry, I'm still waiting for the accusation. Is it me or is I don't hear an accusation?
Now, where have I heard somebody else trying to charge $20,000 for a speaking appearance before?
So Destiny, I know you're watching this. I will come on your stream.
Really, dog? Really? Really, dog? Really? Okay, I get the hate between these two motherfuckers. Between Kidology and FD. I fucking get the hate. As a matter of fact, I respect Kidology for like not standing up to not falling for the bullying that motherfucking FD tried to do to get like basically try to like shit on Kidology when the shit happened. I give her that, but it's these two are not the same, and you know it. You're just being a shit about it. All right, let's go. Wow, that's fucking yeah. Okay.
After you donate $25K to community movement builders here in Atlanta to address the Stop Cop City movement, if you drop $25K, I will come on your stream and we can have the most banal argument.
And see, here's the thing. We knew it was some bullshit when he said it. We all knew it was some bullshit when he said it. We all knew it was some bullshit when he said it. Because FD is a fucking coward. And anti-race mixing. And don't let him lie to your ass and say, no, but my context. No, he got upset. And I got the video to prove it. He literally said he got upset when he found out his wife was one quarter white, as he put it. Yeah. Dog, come on now. Alright, let's go.
There it is. Although financially unscathed, Kendi's reputation will probably never reach the heights that it did in 2019 to 2020. Because at the end of the day, Kendi has proved himself to be a sellout. Now, personally, I don't care too much about selling out. Individuals have mortgages and rents to pay, they have families to feed, and of course, little luxuries to treat themselves to in order to get through the difficulties of everyday life. I don't care too much about selling out because my apolitics, or politics, depending on what you want to call it, really.
Yeah, I don't talk politics except for when I do talk politics. I'm not political except for my policy. No, this is bullshit. I'm not political. Motherfucker, yes you are. All right, let's go.
encourages me to see every individual for the individual that they are and is ultimately all about the individual. However, the underlying politics of Breadtube makes the very selling out, which it appears to be doing more and more so, inherently contradictory with the very tenets of their entire politics and with good video essayism. The devolution of
says a video essayist. Alright, I'm just done, man. Like, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, literally, she is a video essayist talking this shit, man. I'm sorry, like, I don't... Okay, I'm just... Maybe I'm being an asshole. Maybe I know I'm being an asshole, but... Like, dude... Pot, meat, kettle, shit. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I know. The hypocrisy. Like, look, I will give anybody the fucking benefit of the doubt that there are people who claim to be socialists that just are fucking fail sons, that if they fucking daddy wasn't a doctor and they motherfucking uncle wasn't a media producer, they would be shit. They would be little shits, and they got lucky motherfucking by moral codes, which it's showing now Hassan's luck for morally lucky is not fucking keeping him going because he's falling for some bullshit. But I digress. This is in the video on Hassan. Let's go.
Breadtube in the past year was probably inevitable. This devolution is what happens when moralizing the world comes at a cost that not many people are willing to pay. The cost of humanizing your enemies, the cost of putting the political cause before profit-making, branding, and views, as well as putting the moral principles you claim to align yourselves to before...
So, like, and I get it. This video, as she said, is a long time coming. Specifically because of the shots that, you know, motherfucking FD Signifier and his band of cronies took at her at that motherfucking 2-hour stream. Like, yeah, that was one, it was uncalled for because you know what it was. Let's be face it. She wasn't being a good black, you know, according to they fucking ideas. And this is where this shit is coming from. And yes, I get it. Like, some of these motherfuckers can't, you know, conceptualize that people don't agree with them. And that's a problem. But, you know, this is a blood feud. This is literally a blood feud. That's what's going on right here. And she's sitting in the high ground saying, oh yeah, these motherfuckers, they motherfucking was talking all that shit about me. Looks delicious now that the shit is back on them. But let's go.
Drama, clout, and the clique. So let's take a very deep dive into it. But hold up, as a YouTuber, I have to pay my bills. But I also have to tell you about something that will revolutionize your media consumption experience. Not for the humanization in individuals talking preconceived bias perspectives. And personally, that's something that I've loved doing. I found numerous new news sources which I did not even know existed. So all I have to really say is, what are you waiting for? Go to ground.news/Kidology or use my link down in the description box. This is an incredible way for you to consume your news.
Let's go.
Breadtube are what can be considered the unofficial...
No, and that's the thing. You don't have to be poor and struggling to be a socialist. That's not what you have to do. But when you're flaunting your wealth and just sit back and shit on people, and you make it moral that, oh no, I have you know, all this wealth for you guys because I need to be wealthy. Or no, here it goes. I live in Hollywood and I need to actually have a 2-hour garage. Wait, what? And I need to have this big space because I'm moving my parents in. Okay, yeah, sure. But let's go.
Thought leaders of the New Left. The rise of Breadtube can be linked to the widespread leftist backlash on reflection to the Obama presidency. A main characteristic of the New Left is their commitment to progressive historiography from the 2010s onwards as a way to explain the perceived failures of the Obama era.
Wait, what? Wait, that makes no sense. Wait, that makes no sense. Progressive historiography? Okay, yeah, sure. So, in other words, Obama didn't do the shit that he needs to. He needed to. Also, people wanted immediate change right away, and it didn't happen. And a lot of people, and this is my critique of a lot of people on the left, because the change didn't happen immediately. Or they lost the Democrats lost the 2016 election. Oh, electoralism doesn't work and all that other good bullshit. Like, yeah, there were people that actually felt like that. Well, I'm just gonna stop trying, and it's like, motherfuckers. I'm sorry. It's just frustrating about how people take one political loss and make it as if nothing ever works. But let's go.
Progressive historiography dominated in US universities from 1910 to the 1940s. Back then, it referred to a heavy focus on the significance of class conflict in determining the course of American history. Progressive historiography resurfaced again in the form of the New Left, with one caveat. According to the New Left, progressive historiography is central to understanding the pervasive structural faults of American society and politics. However, for the New Left, it isn't class conflict that determines the course of modern history. Rather, it is the systemic historical oppression of marginalized groups, and particularly those with intersectional identities, that has determined the course of modern history, and which, crucially, Barack Obama failed to address in the ways promised all the way back in 2008. The narrative goes that Obama, who ran as...
So here's the thing. If you believe that Obama was going to come in and fix all of the U.S.'s problems, you deserve what you fucking got. If you believe, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to piss some people off. If you believe electing somebody like Bernie Sanders or Cornel West, as much as I love their politics, are just going to, they come in and with a fiat, declaration, no, this is going to get rid of all racism. You're fucking stupid, because that's not how politics work. And if you get a president in, which is the easiest person to elect, as far as you elect one person instead of building a base, instead of motherfucking building a base of support outside of just, I'm going to be on my computer and that's it. Not even talking to somebody. They don't even do the steps in talking to somebody to convince them of your politics. You want to preach at the motherfuckers, but you don't want to talk to people. You deserve the shit that you get. I'm not saying you deserve abuse or shit like that, but you deserve political inaction. Most of you motherfuckers that get mad about this is not changing fast enough have fucking anxiety talking to people while ordering a motherfucking pizza on fucking over the phone. Shit. I'm stressed. Let's go.
A leftist populist, sold out. The New Left, and later Breadtube, emerged as a reaction to this, and have been picking up the crumbs ever since. Unlike the New Left of the 1960s, today's New Left are not so much in allegiance with traditional academia as their predecessors, nor are they as readily aligned to traditional revolutionary activism as were black radicals such as Malcolm X or Huey Newton. Their allegiance is to, quote, the soul of the internet. For instance, many of today's Breadtube creators were either educators themselves or left academia in order to pursue their online careers. The internet was recognized by...
Yeah. She's not wrong. A lot of these people, they motherfucking got tired of motherfucking academia. Could it be because one that we don't pay our teachers well enough, or two that we don't pay our teachers well enough and we don't give them respect like they need to? But still, some of these motherfuckers, they would be the coolest motherfucking homeroom teacher, but let them actually talk about theory. Let them actually talk about philosophy. They're fucking stupid. All right, let's go.
by the New Left to be the new marketplace of ideas. It was the domain in which to connect with a far larger and intersectional audience. This, at least before 2020, was largely the labor and domain of new leftist streamers, and their way of doing things was and remains to be markedly different. Vorsh contends that the soul of the internet pines for ruthlessness and vitriol. The problem, he says, is the online left before me was very academic, but what motivates conservative thought online is ruthless, aggressive content. It's contempt. That's what drives them. So when all the lefty YouTubers are these nice, foppish, queer characters, it doesn't really speak to that demographic of insecure white men. So I'm loud and aggressive, and I want to show people that you can be all these things without being part of the problem politically. But
so this is true. And I've actually, because that's her aesthetic. Her aesthetic is holding a mic. And if you notice, she does some of the same bullshit that she complains about. Like motherfucking Noah Sampson used to do that shit in his videos. It's this whole, I'm too cool for a mic stand. I'm too motherfucking cool for this. It's stupid and it's pretentious. I don't get it. I don't get it. Quite frankly, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. But Vosh is right with this. Not everybody is some woohoo, soy boy like bullshit. And if you're falling for a stereotype, like a lot of these people that are on Breadtube, no lie, they literally fall for the stereotype of what the right believes them to be. And I want to grab them and metaphorically be like, stop playing into the fucking stereotype, you motherfucking goober. I'm sorry. It's irritating. It's irritating. And does that water go anywhere? Yeah, it'll be somewhere. Okay. But let's go.
something happened during the pandemic. Notably, most people were stuck at home, indoors, and with a lot more free time on their hands. A recent large-scale survey revealed that worldwide, social media usage increased by an astonishing 20%. What is also noteworthy to mention is that although social media usage has increased among all groups, irrespective of political affiliation or race, white liberals are the political affiliation and racial group to spend the most time on social media. They spend significantly more weekly hours on the internet, are significantly more likely to list the internet as their primary news source, and significantly more likely to consume news from and be politically active on social media.
Okay. We're moving into a digital age. I get that. Why is this important? I'm sorry. I don't get why this is important, and maybe I'm stopping her before she actually explains why this is important. But why is this important? Well, let's go.
Pandemic, the precarity of lockdowns and the modern economy, as well as an audience significantly more politically active and aware online, were a perfect recipe for what was to come. What was to come and what came was audiences exhibiting a willingness to do what was previously unthinkable. In an age of TikTok, short-form content, blood sports, and garish Breadtube streamers, audiences were increasingly willing to sit through feature-length video essays. These essays...
Wait, no! Breadtube has been around since 2016. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is she really saying that because of the pandemic, Breadtube? Is she really saying that shit? This is stupid. This is stupid. Okay. Wow, that's dumb.
Broke down and applied popular critical academic theories to everyday life examples. And these essays overwhelmingly fall into three subgenres. Firstly, pop culture criticism, particularly analyzing and critiquing fashion trends, modern beauty standards, films, and popular shows. Secondly, race, particularly analyzing and critiquing racism, bias, and modern culture's effects on Black people. Sorry, I mean exclusively African Americans. And
okay, so this is where I have an issue. And you know what? To a point, she is actually right, where it's so many of these people, they will critique it for just that one group, which they may be part of that marginalized group, and then they leave it there. They leave it there as in like, oh, no other motherfucking group is affected by this stupid ass motherfucking racism or classism. No, fuck these people because they've had their turn. And it's just like, no, don't. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You can't just be like, yeah, fuck these groups of people that I don't like because they look like the people that treated me bad. You can't do that shit. That's not right. Yeah, in 2016, exactly.
Thirdly, transgenderism, particularly analyzing and critiquing transphobia, bias, and modern culture's effects on trans people. Contrary to Vorsh's assertions, nice, foppish queer characters were gradually garnering hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views and subscribers. They were and are still lauded as authorities on the subject matters they cover.
And that's the thing. The only reason why is because so many people, they are fucking... I mean, like, I hate to say it like this because it just seems really, really bad. But so many people that are on the left are actually just conservatives or reactionaries. They just are outcasts from those groups. And the reason why they're outcasts from those groups is because they're that outside motherfucking they're that outsider group. But if they fit neatly inside that demographic that they were ostracized from, they would do that shit in minutes. Like, literally, how many people that are trans Nazis or racist motherfucking black people because they feel like I'm one of the good ones? And this is my problem that I've had with so many people that's on the left. It's just like, dude, are you on the left because you are outcast, or do you believe in the principles? Does it sound good in the principles? But the minute that somebody else that you don't fucking like, a group that you don't fucking like, looks like gets what you are claiming for, you want to fucking shut it down. Like, dude, all right, let's go.
Of course, these weren't just a girl sits in front of a camera talking video essays. These were full-length, well-edited theatrical masterpieces. They involved collaborations, skits, outfit changes, and set designs. The aesthetic and vibes were as important, if not more important, than the message. The theatrics were enticing and caused a stir, mainly because of how mysterious and idiosyncratic these essayists were. Viewers wanted to know everything about them. They wanted to read the books they read. They wanted to dress.
Yeah, people... Wait, does she not think that she has people that would want to actually... Oh my god. This is that bullshit. This is that bullshit that is just like fucking crazy, where so many of these people feel like, nuh-uh, I have fans, but my fans are just like, are not as crazy as their other fans. It's like, no, I addressed this even with starting this show. Like, at some point, you got to realize that you're influencing people. You're influencing people. And if you don't realize that you're influencing people, what the fuck are you doing this shit for? If you don't think that you're influencing people, why are you doing this shit? This shit makes no sense to me. Well, I'm just an entertainer online. Yeah, but you're influencing people. And yes, there are people that are going to want to be like their favorite influencer. Yeah, some people are fucking insane. All right, let's just go. All right, let's go. They aren't really against racism, it's just racism done against them. Cough, cough, Soul Bunny. Yeah, I got to do that video.
And talk the way these essayists dressed and talked. I mean, 2020 to 2021 was ContraPoint's most productive year. The pandemic saw Breadtube explode.
Oh, okay, yes, because people were at home, and you know, what are you gonna do when you're at home? But try to entertain yourself. And like I know, I see how she threw shade at ContraPoints, but we ain't gonna talk about that one right there, right? All right, let's go.
Transform and rebrand almost overnight. And so I think it is necessary to distinguish between Breadtube then and Breadtube now.
I find functionally the most prominent left-leaning content creators aren't people who talk politics exclusively. They are people who will talk about culture issues, pop culture stuff, human interest topics, with a left-leaning spin. I always use this guy as an example, Curtis Connor. He's a TikToker, YouTuber, huge content creator, progressive bent to his videos, but he doesn't exclusively talk politics. In fact, he doesn't really talk politics, not directly. He won't talk about feminism. He'll talk about weird guys on TikTok being kind of weird about women.
So what's the point in bringing this up? People like to be entertained by the shit that they like to be entertained of. Are you just trying to say that by bringing up that people like to not only just talk about politics, they like to talk about lifestyle stuff, that it's kind of a brainwashy trying to lower your defenses? Then stop your channel then. Then stop your channel, because you're bringing up political points. But you're trying to be, but I'm not really doing it because, look, I'm me and everybody else is them. But let's go.
Women, he won't talk about the incel movement. He'll talk about, what is with people in this dating advice. It's a way of delivering the idea, the message, without alienating people by directly codifying your politics. I think that's a very smart way of getting people introduced to your ideology.
What has happened since the pandemic is a growing divide between leftist streamers and leftist video essayists. When I refer to Breadtube in the rest of this video essay, I am going to be referring to the latter. Leftist video essayists and their social commentary allies, as well as what I like to call them tag-alongs. And I don't mean this derogatorily, I just mean it sort of analytically.
Honestly, I don't mean it derogatory. The more the merrier, and the more analyzing I can do. Okay, yeah, sure, okay.
And as an easy term to refer to what are ultimately not necessarily like the social
orbiters. Notice she didn't say orbiters, right? Notice she didn't say orbiters because she's been accused of being a Destiny orbiter. Notice she didn't say orbiters. Okay, I'm sorry.
commentary channels, but are sort of like them. Just like JCS Criminal Psychology and Sunny V2 have their clones, leftist video essayists have their tag-alongs, who also largely emerged from and since around 2020. Clones emerge whenever particular kinds of content styles and types hit that sweet spot in the algorithm, and that is precisely what happened with Breadtube during the pandemic. That is, Breadtube video essayists. Leftist streamers, or debate bros, are considered pariahs by Breadtube now. Unless, of course, these debate bros are Hassan Piker, the streaming world's favorite champagne socialist. r/bread.
Yeah, we gonna have to talk about that Hassan Piker cat. Like, and before, when people said that he was a champagne socialist, you're like, no, you can't judge him. He's being pretty champagne socialist right about now. I mean, like, damn it, God, damn it. Like, you literally are... Okay, I'll say it like this. He's getting to a point where if you disagree with him, then you're the genocidal maniac. Because reasons. And, I don't think that's a good idea to literally say that because you disagree with me, even if you're correcting me, that, like, yeah, no, champagne socialist, right? Champagne socialist. Anyway, let's go.
Breadtube has essentially shadow banned all debate bros. But what I've typically seen is Breadtube, that is video essayists, on a spectrum, ranging from hardcore purity testers to cliquey cloned social commenters moralizing about anyone who...
Wait. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go.
Isn't in the group, to leftist feminists and intersectional feminists, all the way to what I have dubbed tag-alongs. The only reason I talk about Breadtube's growing tag-alongs is not to dog on them. Do what you need to do to make money, do what you need to do in order to get those views. I talk about them because they rarely expose something when it comes to Breadtube's descent from its pandemic era peak. In short, it is impossible to reconcile progressive historiography with Breadtube's clout, success, money-making, and branding fixation. And tag-alongs Tag-alongs are the most obvious example of this impossibility. Take, for example, Zoe Unlimited, a perfect example of a tag-along and the growing commercial value of being affiliated with breadtuberism. Zoe has a history in social media marketing, and
yeah, you know what's really bad to me, and like I don't. A lot of people, and this is, how do I say this without sounding like bitter or some shit like this? I've wanted to build my channel and be a motherfucking a YouTuber full time, streamer full time, and an artist full time. But a lot of people, if they didn't start on this platform when it first started out, they, like, if they're new, they've had help. I know I mentioned Hassan a lot, and Hassan, let's face it, is a if he's a fail son. He's a fucking idiot motherfucker. He's not smart. He gets most of his opinions out of fucking sheer luck. And the reason why he was able to, you know, live the life that he's lived is because his whole, like, setting aside Hassan's uncle, who was a media mogul who has his own media company, Hassan's father is a fucking rich ass doctor, and his grandfather was a engineer, and a engineer that owned the company. He's a fail son. He's a fucking fail son. And if you don't realize that shit, then I don't know what else to say. Maybe once you get out of your teens, you can actually look at the world with a real fucking... I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be dismissive of teenagers, because I actually have a teenager myself. But yeah, no, let's go. I'm saying all of that because YouTube is not the meritocracy that people want to believe it is. It's about luck, and it's about, in some cases, who you know and who you work with. But let's go.
and by her own admission, knows what sells. The evolution of her content is a perfect example of how influential these ideas are when it comes to not real-world change, but to career advancement. Roughly a year ago, Zoe switched up her content from diet vlogs and advice to what can be called woke video essays on modern beauty standards. Videos such as, "You're not ugly, you're just poor," all rely on arguments that are characteristically Breadtube. In August, Zoe, who at the time already had over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, received an investment of $1 million from a creator contest funded by investors like Logan Paul, Paris Hilton, and the Chainsmokers. The mission of the contest is to equip creators with whatever they need to grow successful businesses. Mind you,
shit, where was that at when I need the shit? I swear to God. Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
at the time, Zoe had over 1 million YouTube subscribers, thousands of dollars worth of brand sponsorships, a high-paying job in marketing, and hundreds of thousands of views monthly. Like Bolly says, it is difficult to argue against what can be seen as Zoe benefiting from both sides of the diet, beauty, and social justice conversations. And therefore, she is a good example of a content creator incorporating all the arguments and aesthetics of Breadtube into their brand and content.
Okay, but I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit confused because I'm not seeing. Maybe I'm not seeing the where this is going wrong at type thing. Like, just to say that people are using, you know, this whole video up to this point has been virtue signal and why I'm mad at it. Like, that's how this video has seemed to me up to this point. It's wow, virtue signaling. Who would have thought that people like virtue signaling? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be that asshole, but this just seems like people are getting money because of virtue signaling. I hate it. Okay, what do you hate about it? That people are getting money about it. Okay, like, I'm still so confused about why are you hating it. All right, let's start bringing the people in. But yeah, let's go.
instance, you can make a video about how toxic glow up culture is, prefacing that although it can be good, there need to be good reasons behind it. Yet a few months later, your reasons for promoting glowing up can be because you are going to Coachella. Zoe's video essays are all about modern society's allegiance to privilege and how wrong, detrimental, and unfair it is to especially her young female audience. Yet,
Okay, your point. Again, it sounds like it's just virtue signaling and I hate it. I'm just trying to figure this one out. Like, do you think that they're just virtue signaling and they don't believe the shit? I mean, like, if you do, say that shit. But let's go.
this is what Zoe said about the process that she went through to be awarded $1 million as a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers at the time. I basically heard about the contest, and then on the last day to apply for it, I realized, oh, there are 12 hours left. I was like, I might as well. I made a short form video and then submitted that, and little did I know, that's privilege if ever I've heard it. And this isn't necessarily something bad in and of itself, but it
How is it privilege? I'm sorry, I'm so confused. How is that privilege? Wait, what? How is that privilege? Okay, yeah, sure.
is something that, over time, fails to add up to viewers who see you leading a life that works contrary to your message and branding. Zoe is that girl who she makes video essays against. She criticizes quiet luxury, whilst her brand and aesthetic are all about selling quiet luxury to her viewers. It's interesting that a scathing criticism of Zoe's content received more views than her reaction to it. I think this is indicative of viewers, especially Zoe's audience from 1 or 2 years ago, not only growing up, but also recognizing contradictions in the arguments and
Yes, that's when it comes to content create. Oh, wow. Again, this seems like it's just virtue signaling and I hate it. All right.
And this is something that is evident
minimalizing this
in
too much.
other, more staunch Breadtubers' views when comparing them from 2 years ago to now. I only mention Zoe because she reminds me of what some of the original Breadtubers have become as a result of her brand strategy over the past year. I don't consider Zoe a true die-hard Breadtuber, but her audience's growing recognition of the message not aligning to the person's own actions and life is an endemic issue of Breadtube now. What is becoming increasingly apparent is that whilst Breadtubers criticize capitalism and even brand themselves as anti-capitalists.
What's up, Archer? No, okay. Like, okay. So let's get into the better critique. Great. Let's see what that critique is.
They are disproportionately benefiting from it. Take this example from a conversation, or more so a talking down to. I have
So, again, socialists should be poor and homeless. Wow. Wow. Is that what you really think? Is that what you feel? Socialists should just be poor and homeless. That's not how that works. All right, let's go.
had with FD Signifier.
And yes, a lot of this is, I fucking hate FD Signifier, and this is my time to, like, fucking diddle that needle right into his ass. Like, I get that. I get that there's hostility between the two of them. Shit, I don't like the motherfucker because he's not really against racism. He's just against the racism that affects him. But let's go.
And I'm new to I'm a baby leftist. I don't know if that's understood. Like I started journeying left after Obama, and I probably learned more in the last 2 years of content creation relevancy, I should say.
See, it's because Obama didn't do what I wanted to do. Oh, they're bad. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is some bullshit. Because Trump won, oh, then everything's fucked. Like, that's some bullshit. That's some straight up bullshit. But okay, whatever. All right, let's go.
Then in those first 4 or 5 years of reading Marx and, trying to understand things better, having certain conversations. So I'm a baby leftist, right?
And this is the reason why, FD Signifier can't have a real fucking conversation with people that disagree with his ass because he's fucking stupid. He's letting Kidology dog walk his ass. But I digress.
we've moved so far right, at least in the US. In the UK, there's different things. But we moved so far right in so many ways that, there's been actual analyses of like Barack Obama's presidency to show that he was basically Ronald Reagan. Like,
he was what? Barack Obama was Ronald Reagan. See, this is the bullshit I mean. This is the reason why. Fuck. Like, okay. I'm going to say this and I'll be motherfucking very, very transparent with this. Most of my people in my community are split. We have people that are under 35 and people that are over 35. The community that I have on my Discord, we have that split. We split them. And the ones that are under 35 have actually been out in the real world and aren't fucking, just trying to use, because FD was saying he using YouTube as a way of getting rich, getting him some money, getting his money up. And like, basically, like, dude, I get it. You found you a good motherfucking groove. I get it. But to say shit like Obama was like Ronald Reagan? Who the fuck are you? Oh, God, he's stupid. And racist. But let's go.
I feel like I heard you say, like, you don't know if you're ever going to be able to save up to get a house. And that's a lot of people. Like, I'm probably of the last section of millennials that comfortably bought a house, and I only got my house because there was a recession and Obama was giving out, loan stipends or whatever.
FD said that Obama's policies basically make Obama the equivalent of Ronald Reagan and are basically what made FD himself more extreme in his leftist politics. Yet an hour later, FD said that he was comfortably able to purchase a whole house because Obama was giving out loans. And this was initially when I started to think and realize that things in Breadtube were just not adding up anymore.
Okay. He's not the best representative. He's the best representative of cornbread too. Oh, God damn it. Fuck! What gets me is that it's so many people that follow that bullshit and would just like listen to that bullshit. And then they call out like tangent time. These motherfuckers like FD, like Foreign, like fucking Twerb, whatever the fuck, they will be saying the most racist, ignorant, bullshit things. And then they want to call you out. So money. They want to call you out for not being black enough. I've lived life. Have you? Have you lived life? I've dealt with people. And this is the reason why. Let me just go motherfucking full screen. Like just bear with me on this one, right? Just bear with me on this. I live in motherfucking Chicago. I have lived and worked in the professional field since I was 21 motherfucking years old. I am 41 now. So I did a motherfucking bid doing work. Anywhere it goes, I have talked to people that have lived experiences where they have been poor, they've been disadvantaged, and you know what? They were white. I've talked to people who were Hispanic, that have been rich. I've talked to people that have been black and influential. I've talked to a lot of people. The fact is, poverty's a bitch, no matter where it is, no matter what your race is. And you know what? A lot of people is going through the same motherfucking poverty, but different fucking zip code. And for you to sit back and act as if your fucking suffering is better than other people, just so you can say, fuck them people, you have lost the plot as a leftist. If you want to be a motherfucking conservative, cool beans, be that shit. But if you are a quote unquote leftist, baby or not, then your concern should be the uplifting of all people, not just the group that you tend to motherfucking like. As I've quoted before, Thomas Paine, every man is my brother, the world is my country, to do good is my religion. If you want to separate out people because you don't like the fact that their ancestors did something to your ancestors, then you have a fucking problem. Now, motherfuckers that didn't wronged you, I mean, like, I can't judge if you want to retaliate against somebody who's attacked you. I can't judge you. I mean, like, I wouldn't, because I don't know when to stop violence. When I wake up and choose violence, I choose it all. But you may have better controls than I do. But for you to sit back and just say, because it's this person's group that they were born into, it leaves you the fucking big ass hold of somebody doing that to you. But all right. I'm sorry. Let's bring it back to the video.
Alongside sectarian rifts, a second discourse within the community concerns Breadtube's unbearable whiteness. Although Breadtube advocates for social, political, and economic equity, various members of the community have raised red flags about the marginalization of content creators of color in Breadtube spaces. For example, in her video, Why is LeftTube So White?, Black Breadtube creator Kat Black described how interest in her work depends on valuations of it by white audiences. Acknowledging these points, a user commented on a r/Breadtube post titled, Where are the Black Breadtubers? It's hard for me to go on YouTube and hear from all these intersectional people, and yet the tubers of color have maybe 10,000 subscribers at most. It's a huge disparity between the two. The subject of why
I can easily tell you what the problem is. People want to watch people they feel like they have something in common with. I'm sorry, that's just it. And I wish we can actually get to a place where that did not happen, but that's it. That is fucking it. That's why, and I'm gonna say it. That's why you see, when you see in like Keffel's community, in Demon Mama's community, they have a lot of trans people. You see in Vash's community, well, Vash has trans people, but you see in people like Destiny's community, they have a lot of young white guys in their community. It's because people want to watch who they have an affinity to, who they feel looks like them, be it if they have the same motherfucking ideology or not. And a lot of people, they haven't taken the time, and I said before, I say it because I was having this conversation with my friend. A lot of reason why you see a lot of, people that have, why do they have to change minorities in this one show, TV show, or some shit like that? It's because they haven't worked out that part of the brain of fucking empathizing and actually putting themselves in the shoes of somebody that can be totally different than who they are. They haven't. A lot of people don't work out that fucking mental muscle. And so they stick with the laziest trope of, this person is like me, so I'm going to watch them. That's why if you get upset with people that, like, I don't see why people watch this motherfucking, I don't see why people like this group of people or like this type of content. Why is, YouTube so white? It's because a lot of people who are on YouTube or watching YouTube are watching it because they will never make a motherfucking second of content, but they feel like they can identify with the person who they're watching. And that's just a thing that happens. I wish it didn't happen. I wish it can be more and more. Like I said, I want more black people to be on YouTube, whether I believe in their political believe in their political views or not, because I want to be a spectrum where people stop just watching black people because, hey, this is my token black person that I get my views from, but they watch them because, hey, I like how this person is responding no matter how they look. Now, that's changing in some places, like the reaction content or the gaming content. That's changing in that, aspect of it. But we also need to have it in the political space. But let's go.
Breadtube is so white has been covered heavily since Kat Black's heartfelt, very important video on the matter, especially as it personally pertains to her and other black leftist YouTubers, social commentators, and video essayists on the platform. The reasons why I resonate so strongly with Kat's video essay has oddly evolved, especially since the beginning of this year. At the beginning of this year, I made a video in which I argued why the online left needed to do better in understanding the plight and the concerns of not only the people they claim to represent, political minorities, but also the people they need to realize their vision of a more inclusive world. The majority. People rarely seem to get.
Yeah, and this is and that's something. That is something that is fucking true. I will give her that. That is something true. So many people on the left, they don't want to actually reach out to people who they feel are in power or have some sort of power. They feel like, oh yeah, no, yeah, y'all motherfuckers had y'all turn. Even if they're part of the group that quote unquote had their turn. But let's continue.
Where I was coming from, and not just conservatives or contrarians, but also liberals and leftists themselves, who felt that something wasn't quite right anymore on the online left. My video was doing quite well for the first few days, and then this happened.
See, this is the thing. This is why this is a blood feud. This is why... You thought motherfucking Shimigamis and Quincy's had a blood feud. This is a motherfucking blood feud. Alright, no more Bleach references. Sort of.
Okay, no, what bad? Let me some more transphobia. So let me just hold on. Let me real quick. So we're going to be getting. There's going to be a lot of transphobia and trans like antagonistic dog whistles, dog alarms. Just so like as we continue, understand that is a huge undercurrent of this video, right? There's also going to be some anti-blackness. What else we got? That's like trigger worthy.
Let's see. General trigger warning for bigotry and shit. It's probably gonna piss you the fuck off.
General liberalism. Yeah.
General liberalism.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna say this. All right. Leftists. Stop throwing around liberal like a slur. Most of you motherfuckers who claim to be super ultra leftists are still fucking liberal. Stop throwing around liberal like a slur. You piece of shit. You don't sound like nothing but some fucking crazy. Stop it. Because you know what? Liberals actually get shit done. No. Liberals get shit done. Hey. You think that motherfucking Joe Biden didn't do shit for his presidency? Look at the auto workers. He encouraged an environment where the auto workers were able to go on strike and motherfucking literally the end of the contract for the auto workers, which they encourage other people to end their contract with. I think it was April 30th, 2028. Now I know you're thinking like, why does April 30th, the end of the day, end their contract? It gives them the next time to go on strike, which will be May 1st. And if you're a hardcore lefty, you know what May 1st is. And if you think that you're a hardcore lefty and you don't realize what May 1st is, then sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. But let's continue.
Right.
So this is the fundamental frustration I think I have with most of this whole video, right? And I'm glad that we got to it here because then we just talk about it. When you're trying to do things like not even necessarily like be an anti-fascist or do anti-fascism, right? When you're just trying to resist all of the various bigotries that there are, which I would argue is anti-fascism, but I just want to make sure there's a distinction between that specific thing and what I'm talking about.
This whole thing is just like, I'm just better than you. It doesn't foster a good understanding of any fucking thing. And I don't think they realize that. They just sound like... They just seem like dicks. I'm sorry. That's what you seem like, dog. You seem like dicks. But let's go.
It requires you to oppose those things, right? It's not about like, oh, we need to hear them out. Like, no, like that ideology. I mean, you could argue that it's literally just fascism, but they overlap with fascists enough that the line is not them. Like, no, you don't polite fascism out of existence.
All right, it's not a debate.
Nah, you suppress that shit. You fight that.
I'm not. This video wasn't about trashing Kidology.
Okay, wait. What are you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna get rid of fascism. Like, let's be honest. How many camps are you gonna have? How many camps are you gonna have? This is the shit that I'm talking about. This fucking insane for people on the left to fucking say, with the history of this whole idea of, yeah, if people on the left get power, then they're gonna fucking do some really off the wall shit. How many camps are these motherfuckers gonna have? Because if you ask them how many camps they're gonna have, they're gonna give you an answer. You think they won't? What about the people that don't agree with you? Like fucking Hassan even said, it's like, well, it's gonna be some re-education. You first, bastard. You fucking first. You want to do re-education? You first. First, educate your ass. Oh shit. Like, okay, let's. Fuck. This is stupid. Let's go.
Explicitly. Like, this is not kind to Kidology. She will not enjoy watching this video, and I'm not going to try to like gaslight into thinking that this was a nice thing to do, right? Or this is a kind thing to do. I've seen these types of videos about me, and mostly they're shitty. But like, I've seen my face on the screen, but me.
Oh, okay. I laugh. If you guys know the lore, I laugh. I laugh because, yeah. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. Do I still have it? Let's see. Desktop. Do I have it? No, that's not it. Come on. I only have the one. All right. Bam. Oh shit. It's not good. It's shitty. A response I have when motherfucker make a shitty video about me, I go back hard. These motherfucking Okay. I'm being a little bit glebe about the shit. But no. If you don't like the shit that I said about you, address it. Fucking address it. I'm just saying, like, address the shit. I don't know what else to tell you, dog. Address the shit. No, you think you're above reproach. That's what it is. You think you're above reproach. And that shit didn't happen. But let's go.
Not there, it's not a fun experience. And so I want to send a empathy towards Kidology if and when she sees this, that it was not a malicious act to break down this video the way we did. It was because
you literally called her anti-blackness. The fuck, how is she supposed to take it? Like, what the fuck? How else the fuck is she supposed to take this? You literally called her homophobic, transphobic, and yes, I get it. There are people who that shit just don't fucking matter about. They don't give a fuck about. But just like you felt some kind of way when she came at your motherfucking head, now that you coming, now that she you coming at her head, oh, okay, you can play that motherfucking game. Okay, motherfucker, you want to start this shit? We can start this shit. Motherfuckers ain't ready for war. And that's what this is. This is motherfuckers getting ready for war. All right, let's go. Only 30 minutes, damn it.
This video presents some very significant and important issues that we on the left do need to engage with. Not because, see, I started laughing. I'm not gonna do that. Not because this was a challenging video argumentative wise, but because it illustrated the types of challenges that we need to get better at dealing with how far we are from just regular people who are still very much under hegemonic thought. And so,
look, I'm so smart. I'm more important than you. You're a regular person that's under hegemonic thought. The fuck, bitch? What do you think you're doing? You trying to create your own hegemonic thought. Oh my god, this is that fucking insufferable ass bullshit that so many people hate about fucking leftists. It's fucking insufferable. And they know it's insufferable. But because reasons, their insufferability is fucking better than anybody else's? Like, what the fuck? Alright, let's go. I'm a regular people under hegemonic thought. Yeah. Yeah.
all the times I've did a reaction video, I was like, I gotta do this one, and it's gotta be out there for people to see, because we need to engage with why a person who considers himself a moderate would make a video like this that is inherently right-wing, you know, and then not realize how right-leaning it is.
Exactly.
In so many of his politics.
If you ain't with us, you against us. If you ain't with us, you against us. Motherfucker, I think you're wrong. If you ain't with us, you against us.
Interestingly, FD never uploads full streamed Patreon videos and live streams onto his second YouTube channel. But for some reason, he decided to do so just this one time. What is of further interest to me is that now, for research, when I look for this video, it has vanished. My channel was reported. I lost subscribers. I lost the majority of my income. And this was all a result of the things that FD said in his response to my video and directly to me. The views on my original video suddenly stopped entirely, and all the views went to his out of context reaction to particular statements I'd made. And so it was during this time, and as a consequence of the ramifications to what had happened, that my thinking on Cat Black's video began to evolve.
So, yeah, they wanted to fucking destroy her fucking channel. And that's the thing. These mass reports and shit, they wanted to destroy her channel. And that's fucked up. That's all types of fucked up. Now, if I want to report FD's channel talking about how he's threatening to fucking copyright me because I just said how he said some serious racist shit on more than one of his videos, then maybe, you know, that's, you know, he would understand that bullshit. But no. He's right because reasons, and he's always going to be right, no matter if he's being, you know, just an asshole or not. But let's go.
Began to move from thinking, why is LeftTube so white, to why is Breadtube so white? Now, this may seem to be a complete juxtaposition, but do bear with me, and let me explain in FD's own words.
The online left is overwhelmingly white, a petite bourgeois white community, in fact.
There is a black petit bourgeois community on YouTube. This petit bourgeois...
Yes.
is comprised of members such as FT Signifier, Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, and other largely black content creators, but not exclusively so. These are people who they personally condone and collaborate with. They determine who is truly black and who isn't, which, in their eyes, gives them the authority to use the exact same kind of derogatory, racist language.
Oh, we coming after you, Ole. We gonna come after you too, because you be doing that bullshit. But let's go. Let's go back a little bit.
In their eyes, gives them the authority to use the exact same kind of derogatory, racist language that creates the very divisions they claim to want to overcome in the first place.
Exactly.
let me tell you what I find frustrating about coons and their belief that they have that question to make. This is the problem with coon, like coonery and internalized anti-blackness and wanting to be in proximity of whiteness, right? And just wanting white approval and hating oneself, and it makes you blame your community for stuff that logically don't make sense.
Don't make no fucking sense.
That's not the lie in their mind. Because there's a difference deeply in the spirit of what is a token and what is a coon. Because I'm sure many of we learned Negroes have been the token in a room to black people, in a room full of white faces. I'm sure we all have. Do not get me started. It was
never been a token. You motherfucker. If you felt like you being a token, then take your ass up and go out that fucking room. If you felt like you were being a token, get your ass up and take your ass out the room. You self-hating motherfucker. Wow. Okay. Sure. Let's go.
Yo, it was a gatekeeping black lady. Believe it or not, hey, the coon
It always is. It always
is. Hey.
I'm essentially saying that just as white women will find ways to placate whiteness just for their proximity to it, will throw whatever womanhood, their femininity is second to their whiteness. In many ways, you have a lot of black people in the States, you will not find this of any surprise, where their blackness is secondary to their Americanness.
And you know what I find frustrating about that?
Clarence is one of them.
I just gonna say, and that's coons. No, but the thing.
Yeah, because fuck this motherfucker. Here, let's go through these motherfuckers. Let's go through these motherfuckers right now. Let's go through these motherfuckers. Here, this motherfucker who literally said that his motherfucking cousins who lived in the fucking city were just more rugged than he was. This motherfucker right here, who's an activist lawyer. This motherfucker here, who is a foreign man in a foreign land. Something tells me that takes motherfucking money to be able to leave the motherfucking Caribbean to move to a fucking American place. Don't you none of these three motherfuckers should be able to come up here and say any type of bullshit. Like you grew up in the motherfucking streets, like you was motherfucking hustling the shit out, that you motherfucking hustled your way out by selling out products and then getting the fuck out of the hood. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. But fuck these guys. Wow. They super blackity black. Fuck out of here, man. Let's go.
About a coon, where the resentment is, every black person, Derek Bell talks about this in Faces at the Bottom of the Well, when he talks about rules of racial standing. Every single black person is presented with the opportunity to coon or legitimize anti-blackness by repeating white talking points. We all have it. What the coon's problem is not that they want to pull up the ladder because they don't perceive us as being on the same ladder. Their problem is that you're not playing the
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. The
themselves.
functionality of it is absolutely the awareness that you have to shut that fucking door behind you for anybody else. As a coon, as a token. That is the white supremacist functionality of tokenism, of cooning.
It depends on what position the coon token is in. And I'm gonna go with the coon over token because I think I agree with the fact that we've all say coon.
Not only is coon a racist slur, it is also described by the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia as follows. The coon caricature is one of the most insulting of all anti-black caricatures. The name itself, an abbreviation of raccoon, is dehumanizing. As with Sambo, the coon was portrayed as a lazy, easily frightened, chronically idle, inarticulate buffoon.
And many of these online leftists encounter leftist ideology first online through one of many video essayists or commentators, or in college, or both. Places and institutions that tend to exclude the most prominent black leftist thinkers from the space, and thus...
No, they fucking don't. No, they fucking don't. Like, these motherfuckers remind me of, if you grew up in my area, you know... Okay, so there's a show, there was a spinoff from The Rapist, Bill Cosby's Cosby Show called A Different World, and there was a character on there played by Cree Summers, was like Freddie, and she was different. She had to deal with the fact that she was half white, half black, and everything that came with, that she had to be the blackity blackest character there is in Revolution, brother, and she was dating a guy who quite literally was just like, yeah, I'm super black. This is that performative bullshit that these motherfuckers do. I've seen this shit before. People that want to tie their ideology, their personality, not who they are, not the history of who they went through, but they want to tie the fact that I'm blackity black, black, black. No, motherfucker, that's only a part of who you are. But for you to sit back and make it where if somebody's not doing that performative shit like you are, it lets me know that you're fucking insecure about your own blackness. I wake up every motherfucking morning, look in the mirror, and reminded how I look. I don't get up in the mirror like, yeah, I'm blackity black, black, black. I know I have a history of dealing with shit that other people don't have to do with, be it less, more, or the fucking same. And these motherfuckers pisses me the fuck off more than anything, because these will be the same motherfuckers that look down on you. What? I had motherfucking, help. I had this, I had that. Why you ain't liking what I'm at? Talking about kicking a fucking ladder down. No, motherfucker. You just as liberal as the people that you want to talk shit about. Fuck out of here. Like, this just irritates my soul. And neither one of these motherfuckers. They talk about the revolutionaries, the motherfucking Marcus Garveys. They talk about... Where's y'all talk about Medgar Evers? Martin Luther King? Where's your talk about Fred Hampton? This motherfucker who's on screen right now, from Chicago, never utters a word about Fred Hampton. Never utters a fucking word. You know why? Because Fred Hampton was like, no, we're going to get the white people together. We're going to get the poor people together. We're going to get the Hispanics together. And we're going to motherfucking make a movement. It's performative to these motherfuckers. That's all it is. It's performative. Because what they want to do is they don't want to get rid of the current structure. They just want to replace it with their form of the current structure. And to quote again, Fred Hampton, you don't beat white capitalism with black capitalism. You beat it with socialism. Fuck out of here. Like, every time I get this shit, and to find out this motherfucker is against race mixing, and to let people play that shit down because, oh, he's black, he can't be against racism. He can't be against race mixing. We literally have him telling a story about his 23andMe and then saying, I don't want to learn my 23andMe because I'm scared of what I'm going to find out. Fuck this dude.
Set the tone for what voices are welcome and which ones are not.
As my unfortunate dealings with FD Signifier demonstrate, Breadtube sets the tone for what voices are welcome and what voices are not. And in setting that tone, FD and friends don't check their own cliquey and black purist tendencies, and they definitely demonstrate their lack of knowledge of what blackness means to a diverse spectrum of people, cultures, experiences, and political interpretations, not just in the United States, but across the World Wide Web on which they work.
They never check their own racist tendencies.
And then another thing too, their fucking take on being black is so fucking American centric. It's fucking unbelievable. But let's go.
And definitely lack knowledge of these black socialist movements, which these folks hold the power in the space.
FD and friends hold the power in this space in influencing the growth or otherwise of their friends. Take, for instance, Soul Bunny, an artist and video essayist whose video essays are not only...
No! She threw on the Soul Bunny! She going for the throat!
openly anti-white and racist, but are just not good.
The only people that need to be doing bake sales and going door to door are other white people. I can keep this going all day, but let's get into this caucasity.
All of these white people.
She threw on the Soul Bunny. She going for the throat. She's going for the jugular for... Oh, wow. Okay, shit.
And, even some Asian people were basically accusing me of attacking this innocent white woman who was just appreciating the culture. White leftists are not our allies. They are not our accomplices. They are not for liberation. They are for their own profit and for building their own social capital and positioning themselves as the experts, as the this whole thing has just made me realize that white people are not serious. It's because we have to keep explaining to white people that yes, white supremacy is actually at the root of everything. It's at the root of misogyny. It's at the root of queerphobia. It's at the root of transphobia. It's at the root of ableism. Sometimes it feels like white people are just being dense on purpose. It's like their God-given right to be dense. And
fuck, you just, man, she just motherfucking, she's trying to go for this throat. Wow. Okay, let's go.
And to keep us trapped in this cycle of explaining to white people that white supremacy is at the root of everything. This is just a facade to them. This is just a game. They have no actual stakes in the game.
Thankfully, however, Soul Bunny's reputation precedes the quality of her essays. The nonsensical, racially bigoted arguments that she perpetually makes in order to justify her own shortcomings as a video essayist are fortunately offset by her friendships with FD and other Breadtubers, such as Jessie Gender and Zoe B. And the thing is, people have noticed and are disappointed that very good, thorough video essayists are compromising their high standards in the interest of what is condoned by the black petty bourgeoisie. In the same way that Cap Black says that, quote, more people are willing to give her work a chance if a white person says that it's okay or not. Breadtube has done the exact same thing when it comes to black content creators in the genres of social commentary and video essays. My channel was impacted by FD's disproportionate response to my video because it wasn't the right kind of black for him. And of course,
I mean, and I get it. I get that. And this is what I'm going to say. Kidology, she's more of a centrist, right-leaning. I'm just from watching some of her political takes. That doesn't mean that she's just a horrible person that she needs to be taken down a notch or two. No, fuck, that sounds stupid. But, yeah, the fact that they did that bullshit is fucking insane. Why would they do that bullshit? All right, let's go.
Breadtube does something which increasingly people online are getting tired of, claiming or insinuating that any valid criticism directed to them is either simply racism or bigotry. Take the fascinating example of how Breadtube does thumbnails or video titles. Weird, I know, yet also...
Oh, shit. Damn it, is she about to call... Rico, if you watch this later, dog, she's about to make your point for you. All right, let's go.
One of the most subtle yet simultaneously audacious ways in which valid criticism is conveniently put onto modern day's most convenient scapegoat, white people, or rather the essentialist caricature of a white person that is all over Breadtube. This was FD Signifier's original thumbnail and title for his video essay about why leftist drama is so bad, in a video that was pure drama. The title has gone through several evolutions. It was originally called Broke Bread, LeftTube has a drama problem. Then it was I might have a drama problem. Now it's leftist infighting almost killed me. Broke bread. Just a spoiler alert, leftist infighting and drama didn't almost kill him.
Yes. He had a episode? Is that the best way to call it? He had an episode where he was like, I think I need my wife to call the hospital. He had an episode. That's what we're gonna call it. Episode.
He didn't have a stroke. He suffered from immense stress and a terrible migraine and panic attack. I am not downplaying the seriousness of this, and I wish him nothing but the greatest health moving forward. However, it is starkly different to almost being killed. Note as well the symbolism of the original artwork. FD, an innocent black content creator and victim, dragged and manipulated into drama by all these pesky white people wanting a piece of him. This was Foreign Man in a Foreign Land's original thumbnail and title on a video in which he disingenuously goes after the internet's largest transgender streamer Keffals.
That's fucked up. Yeah, that was real fucked up. And it wasn't even about being transphobic. It was mostly talking about straight white women. We covered that video.
Case he went after her for being in rehab.
You see,
I knew the strong with him as soon as he said blocks. I'm not surprised that he said. I'm not surprised.
After backlash which in my opinion would not have been the case this time last year, which shows you how things are starting to change and how people are starting to put two and two together. He quietly changed the title and thumbnail after it wouldn't disrupt the algorithm too much. Of course, when enough time passed and the video became old news, he changed it right back. Now, there was something which I noticed in my weeks-long analysis and deep dive into the content of the black petty bourgeoisie. The people they critique and outright despise the most are the very same people who they have the most in common with: radical, guilt-ridden white liberals. On the other hand, the people they claim, and I think, genuinely believe themselves to be representing and to stand hand in hand with, are the very people they have the least in common with. That is, the average black voter, the average person of color.
This is somewhat true. And I'll tell you guys why. Because what happens is a lot of these people, they don't want to spread the word of socialism, or, they don't want to spread, they don't want to reach out to people who they may find community because of shared history. No, they just want to be motherfucking big online. That's it. They want to be fucking big online, because if they're big online, they're big fish in a small puddle inside of their own little world. And they just don't want to be, they don't want to reach out. I doubt if any of these people regularly talk to people in their lives that may have a difference of opinion than what, they believe in. But let's go.
Who is typically very religious, socially conservative, especially in values surrounding sexuality, immigration, and policing. Why I say that corn Breadtube is so white is because, well, they are. These particular cornbread tubers dislike white liberals as much as white liberals dislike themselves. These cornbread tubers, like their white liberal counterparts, espouse attitudes and policy preferences that are largely unrepresentative of the marginalized communities whose will they claim to represent.
And you can see this with the election of when they did the election in, like, was it South Carolina, and Biden won above Bernie? You can see this shit. This is how it happens. But a lot of these people won't recognize that. And instead of saying, if they recognized it, they would have to do something about it. Like actually try to share their opinions. But let's go.
They espouse the same luxury beliefs as their white liberal counterparts. They advocate for the same social and gender identity issues as their white liberal counterparts. Even though black and Asian Democrats and liberals are, for instance, greatly more supportive of restrictive immigration policies and are more likely to be pro-Israel than pro-Palestine. I'll return to this in more depth in my chapter on luxury beliefs, a term coined by psychologist Rob Henderson to describe the growing status symbol of beliefs that confer social status on bourgeois folks like FD and friends, or radical white liberals from affluence. Whilst ironically, the costs of these luxury beliefs are inflicted on and are borne by the lower classes.
I got kids to feed! We got kids to feed! What are they doing? Nothing! Get the out of here! What's wrong with y'all? Y'all can find a better way to protest it. Get out here. Y'all need to stop my kids. Who put
Okay, so this is... Let's read the caption. Observe how all these activists appear to be Caucasian, and the commuters are Black and African Americans, Asian Americans, and appear to be working class white Americans. Now, this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is one of those hard things to actually do. This is one of those hard things to actually say. When you're talking about civil disobedience, yeah, like, there are going to be people that's like, I'm just trying to get to work. I'm just trying to live my life. Stop, you're in my way. And not to say that you're better than these people for doing this. Not to say at all that, you should think yourself above the petty concerns of these people. It is something that, let's be very fucking honest, is an inconvenience to a lot of people. Protesting civil disobedience is meant to be an inconvenience. And if you don't see that, if you don't recognize that you actually may get hate from the people that you're trying to quote unquote stand up and protect, then you're doing it wrong. Now, there are times where people are getting so fucking fed up, like the instance of with the GM workers, not GM, but the auto workers who are, like, to be quite honest with you, you know, experience support that they normally wouldn't have had because people are so fed up. But that's generally not the case. Most people don't like protesters because they're interfering with their life. But let's go.
I gotta go to work and somebody do anything.
As I demonstrated by my own personal example of having my career shaken by FD's power to determine who is welcome and who isn't in the online black community, other black outliers and I have routinely had our work, our opinions, and our experiences not only excluded, but ridiculed. We are called Candace Owens, or self-hating coons, Uncle Toms, and
And you know what the worst fucking instance of this shit was? When they did it to fucking Shark. And he made that video about the shit. Yeah. No. But let's go.
traitors who aren't actually black. This racist language and these derogatory insinuations are openly used by the leader himself. And it's important that these cornbread tubers make it known to their audiences that we outliers are not like them. Because if people realize that there are a multitude of other ways of existing as a black person in this world, for instance, as a black person who doesn't constantly resort to blaming everybody else, grand narratives and systemic issues for the state of our existence at every possible opportunity, what would the point of their content be? What would the point of videos like "Fuck the Police" serve if black people who support the institution of policing were given a thumbs up by cornbread?
Okay, so this is where you fall into the whole thing about, yeah, she's kind of just using this to push her own like agenda with shit. Yeah, like no, like there are people who racism is a thing. It is, bigotry is a thing, and it's not just black people who are racist against white people. No, racism is a thing, and for Kidology to act like no, it's not, it portrays where she has her political views at. But let's go.
Breadtubers. The narcissism of small differences is perfectly exemplified by this black petty bourgeoisie. The term narcissism of minor differences was coined by Sigmund Freud to refer to a psychoanalytical phenomenon. He initially used it to refer to behaviors he observed in individuals, but would later use it to refer to groups. It is always possible to bind together a considerable number of people in love, so long as there are other people left over to receive the manifestations of their aggressiveness. I once discussed the phenomenon that it is precisely community.
So what's telling about this is, okay, that's done. What's telling about this is Sigmund Freud wasn't exactly the best fucking expert on mental health, but we digress, right?
With adjoining territories and related to each other in other ways as well, who are engaged in constant feuds and in ridiculing each other, Germans and South Germans, the English and the Scotch, and so on. I gave this phenomenon the name of the narcissism of minor differences, a name which does not do much to explain it. We can now see that it is a convenient and relatively harmless satisfaction of the inclination to aggression, by means of which cohesion between the members of the community is made easier. In this respect, the Jewish people, scattered everywhere, have rendered most useful services to the civilizations of the countries that have been their hosts. Mind you, Freud said this before the Shoah. As identity politics has replaced all politics, the idea that the narcissisms of...
First of all, wait, what? First, no, identity politics has not replaced all politics. It was always like that. This is the shit that I'm talking about. Like, you were cooking. You were fucking cooking the first part of this video. But now that you got in the whole, yeah, these people are just bad. Now you've heard that corner. Okay, let's go.
Of small differences is harmless can be easily disproved, especially since the post-Cold War era. The phenomenon applies to the intra-group conflicts that Breadtube increasingly has fallen victim to. Basically, the more commonalities a group or community share, the more susceptible members are to, quote, engage in interpersonal feuds and mutual ridicule because of hypersensitivity to minor differences perceived in each other, rather than appreciating and building off from similarities in ideology, politics, and policy, which Breadtube share with other content creators and bodies of people. Increasingly, minor differences of realistically no consequence are fixated on. They are used time and time again to justify why allyship or compromise or understanding of the other side just won't work. And this has ensued into the quality of Breadtube essays.
Yeah, this is true. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna wrap this up in just a little bit. I'm getting tired and I have to work tomorrow morning. But yeah, no, let's go.
Declining as subject matter becomes gripped by the narcissism of small differences. What's noticeable is that corn Breadtube video essays have become more isolationist in nature, the subject matter being overwhelmingly about a small difference and niche aspect of identity that preaches to the already converted. As such, the world, which is the enemy, will never change or listen, and therefore the video essayist is always needed to explain why the audience is oppressed and will remain oppressed.
All this content is a waste of time if you're looking to achieve political goals and political ends, okay? Broadly speaking, the best thing...
Oh, she's featuring Chud Logic. Chud! Alright, let's go.
You can do, if you want to do something, is to get the fuck out there and do something about it, okay? Go and join an org. Go and fucking organise. Go and join a political party. Whatever it is you want to do, go and do it, okay? All this is bullshit. It doesn't change anything. It's all just content to be consumed. Always, always, always has been. Always will be. That's not going to change, okay? I've been saying this for fucking years now, okay? And for some reason, people still seem to be under the impression that sat there watching content creators is how you make change in the world. But it just isn't. You're just consuming content. That's what you're doing. These platforms are geared up for that to be the case. Look at the way that YouTube works. It's literally fucking designed from the bottom up now to just have you sit there and watch video after video after video, consuming. It works in opposition.
This is actually true. This is very true. But let's go.
To actually going out and doing something. And I think it's great that people do that. I've got no interest in it. My goal is to make as much content as I can and make money and, you know, whatever, right? For me, it's a pointless endeavor to do anything beyond just make content out of this. And I think these kinds of people that do this content are fooling themselves if they think they're doing anything but creating content to be consumed, okay?
There are actual issues of racism and racial discrimination, which Breadtube largely ignores. I would argue that this is because of an inherent class issue within Breadtube and corn Breadtube. The luxury beliefs of Breadtube mean that an endemic issues such as child labor and its direct links to racial discrimination are never spoken about. This is something which affects the poorest of the poor in the...
Alright, I'm gonna have to cut this off later, guys. I'm getting tired. But yeah, we are 50 minutes in. We got about 40 minutes left. But yeah, no, this is fucking unbelievable. And Kidology is cooking. Even though now it's just starting to turn into some right-wing centrist type bullshit. But she was cooking. And well, we're gonna watch this probably tomorrow. I do want to say thank you guys for watching so far. We're gonna cut this video segment here, and we're gonna call it peace out. Thank you.